Okay, for this lesson, we're going to be talking about slope. So slope criteria for parallel lines, perpendicular lines. As always, when I go over a tutorial, I usually will not answer the questions. I'll let you do that on your own, unless I feel that the question is necessary or beneficial to go over for the lesson. On the videos and stuff like that, I'll let you do that on your own too. So let's get into this with slope for parallel and perpendicular lines. Just a reminder, parallel is the lines go on forever and they never touch each other. Perpendicular, they will intersect at 90 degrees. They look like a right angle. Think of perpendicular lines for an example. On a square, there's the perpendicular lines in the corners where they intersect at the 90-degree angle. Or for an example, we have a tennis court here. Good example of perpendicular lines. All right. Parallel lines. Here's our wonderful little formula for parallel lines, how to find the slope. And we have this, we find 2 points on it. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. And then we go the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is how we will start to figure out the slope of a parallel line. And I do have another mini lesson I've done on parallel lines and kind of breaks it down a little bit more for you. These questions on slope, I'll have you answer that on your own. Here's more parallel lines with each other. As you can see, these two lines will never cross. They are going on forever. And we could say that the slope of AC, line AC, and the slope of DF, line DF, are the same. They're parallel to each other. We can prove that they are equal to each other because the lines are going on forever like this and they are parallel. All right, we have some definitions here. So here it just shows you statement. So we're going to draw a line, x-axis through A in a line, y-axis through C, and we're going to label the point B. So just we're showing a line. Reason is construction. So draw a line like this, label one point A, 1 point on the y-axis is C, and then the intersection point would be B, is how they're explaining to do it. And then this just goes over some basic definitions. Angle, and just a reminder, when you see this symbol, you might think it's like the greater than or less than symbol, and it is not. This actually represents angle. So this means angle DEF. Okay, let's go on to the next part. Here it just talks about two different parallel lines. It shows parallel lines together. Then how are the slopes equal to each other? It gives us an example with two triangles. We have two right triangles here, and it shows why the lines are parallel to each other because we have BC equals BC over EF equals AB over DE. Pairs of corresponding sides, lengths in similar triangles have equal ratios. Okay. And again, that just shows you how they're equal to each other, how the lines and the points are all equal to each other. Fun stuff. Okay, this gets more into detail. Slope y equals mx plus b. Fun equation. Again, y equals mx plus b. Let's go here. Perpendicular lines, if you recall, they always cross at a 90-degree angle. So you see our lovely 90-degree angle. This represents a perpendicular line. Okay, let's go on to the next. All right, perpendicular lines. Again, we'll answer those questions on our own. This just shows another example of perpendicular lines, how it's crossing over at a 90-degree angle. This is just giving more information regarding perpendicular lines, and it shows why they are equal to each other. Again, I'll remind you, this represents angle. So when you see the symbol, this means angle right now. And then this is telling us why the lines are perpendicular to each other and why they, like, what property represents why. I go over this again in another mini lesson too, so I would recommend going back to that, I'll let you do the question on your own. Now we have examples of perpendicular and parallel lines right here. And hopefully that just clears it up a little bit with some other definitions and some pictures. And if you have any other questions or confusion on it, then I recommend you go back to the other little mini lessons that I've done, and hope you enjoyed.